Christians often think sacred matters are matters of faith, secular matters are matters of science. There is this parallel between the sacred secular and the faith science kind of dichotomy. Now, what happens when you reason that way? When you reason that way, you give the idea that faith is contrary to science. See, science is the use of the intellect. Faith is just a matter of taking some kind of irrational leap, apparently. Unbelievers have their own version of faith. What you have here is not faith versus science. You have one kind of faith versus another kind of faith. I want to suggest to you that the person who is an unbeliever did not become an unbeliever through science. That his science is based upon a worldview. Every ideology that you run into in this world, no matter how well thought out it may or may not be, every ideology that plagues our modern society is based on a worldview. It's based on a picture of reality, a picture of man and how he thinks. And all worldviews, in their most fundamental sense, are religious. They are not determined by the principles of natural science. Let me give you an example. Carl Sagan says of the cosmos that it is all there is. And I'm sure he sincerely believes that from one standpoint. Well, what you need to see is that when this scientist Carl Sagan, who popularizes this idea, stands up and tells the world on his television program there's the cosmos and that's all there is, how did he scientifically determine that's all there is? Science cannot tell you the limits of science, because science would have to get outside of science to look at its limits. Now, there are fancier ways of putting that, but I think you'll understand what I'm getting at. Science can't tell you how far science goes. Science can tell you about the things within its range, but it can't tell you whether there's anything outside its range. And so when Sagan stands up and says, the cosmos is all there is, we need to say, how did you find that out? How did you learn that there's nothing more but the cosmos? You did not learn it scientifically. Well, if you didn't learn it scientifically, what is it then? That's his faith. That's his faith commitment. Carl Sagan may not go through acts of ritual and worship, bowing down to the cosmos, although some of us suspect maybe he does. I don't know whether he does, but it's still a religious matter for him. The fact that he doesn't go to the church of the cosmos doesn't mean that that is not his God, that is not his ultimate authority. He has a faith commitment in science, and science can do no wrong. Science can tell us all. You notice that the qualities we attribute to God as Christians, he attributes to the cosmos. We were talking about this at dinner last night. You know, there's this crazy idea. Sagan even hopes that out there in the cosmos there are going to be these messages from intelligent life that are coming, maybe comfort us in the bleakness and coldness of the universe. I'm telling you, he's got a faith commitment here. Not everyone is as explicit as that. Your next door neighbor may not be able to say the cosmos is all there is, but he thinks that way. And when he does, you need to be aware it's not because he's a scientist and you have faith as a Christian that you differ. It's because he has a religion and you have a religion. He has a faith and you have a faith. And what is coming into conflict here is your faith commitments. It's not science versus Christianity. It's one form of pagan faith or another versus Christianity. Please reorient your thinking.